Hi, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Gordon.
And welcome to our first episode of Schlock or Shit, the show where we try to determine if all of these terrible fucking movies are actually super fucking good. You know, like The Room. But probably most of them will suck ass.
Like The Room.
Yeah.
Fuck.
On the docket today is what I'm calling classics. Nigel Bach's film debut and his sequel film, Bad Ben and Steelmanville Road. So the first film we're going to talk about is his film debut, Bad Ben, a found footage horror film directed, produced, shot, and starring Nigel Bach. I believe you were saying he's a perfectionist of sorts, kind of Kubrick in his commitment to film.
Yeah, he has a hand in every aspect of the film.
Yeah, I honestly think he was the only person there aside from like a roommate.
Well, I think maybe his wife. I feel like if he
is, maybe he's not married. So our film is about our main character, Tom Riley. I almost called him Nigel Bach because that's just who he is to me.
Well, it's almost like he's not playing a character, but he is the character. But
he's that good.
Yeah.
He's that perfect at the role.
Yeah.
That he just is Tom Riley.
Yeah, Tom Riddle.
He is a man who has sunk his entire fortune into an estate that he has no clue about. He sunk the money in it because he wants to flip it.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, as all of these found footage horror movies go, the spooks start happening. He's spooking here, he's spooking there.
Yeah, there's something going on in this house.
There's like chairs moving. The attic door won't stay closed. Might be a lock issue, not sure.
Yep. The epitome of horror.
Yeah, no, it is a solid 90 minutes of him wandering around a house or checking camera footage of things moving.
Right.
And, my favorite sound effect.
One more time?
Oh, it's a...
Music to my ears.
Yeah, it's like the autistic screechings of a demon.
Oscar-worthy sound design. Transformers can eat its heart out.
I mean, hey, if you want my honest opinion, this is better than Transformers. Yeah, so we have Tom Riley in this house and the spooks are happening, and he realizes that he is being haunted by, I believe, what he thinks to be a demon named Bad Ben. Or just Ben, maybe, because he finds this grave outside that's it's just a rock on some dirt. And it says Ben on the rock, and it's got a little music machine.
Are you here right now?
So that's pretty much the plot. I mean, it all culminates into
him confronting
our
Bad
hero,
Ben.
Confronting Bad Ben, and sadly losing out in the end.
Well, we don't know exactly how it ends.
Nigel. As far as we knew in that film, he was dragged off towards the furnace via chain.
Yeah, but I think we should just go ahead and jump into the parts of the movie that really made it special to us.
Like, for sure.
The fact that, it's an incredible feat that this man literally improvised a whole script on camera in the moment. Because there's no way on earth that he could come up with these lines in his head, write them down, and remember them.
Have we ever heard such classics, such memorable, realistic classics like Stop That?
To a ghost. He's talking to the ghost. That is not spoken to him once.
Stop it.
It's these beautiful little scenes, because here's the point of the show, right? Is we wanna see these movies that get shitty ratings, that people abhor, that critics hate, that are like box office flops, and we want to find out if they're truly just god awful or if there's some fun in it.
Yeah,
and this movie is fun.
Yeah, it's charming.
It's so quaint and charming, and it's like this really silly, dumb, schlocky story about a man who is the only person ever on the entire screen bumbling through this house using cell phone footage and surveillance cameras And that's the whole movie. He's just talking to the air. Or pretending to talk on the phone.
Yeah, or adding in really low grumbling.
Oh, but that's all post. That's all post.
Yeah,
because
I
in
imagine
the moment,
it's him, though, making the noises.
Probably. Who else did them?
I mean...
The man is, like... In terms of horror, it's like, you know, John Carpenter, George A. Romero, Wes Craven, Nigel Bach.
Yeah, I definitely would have to put him right up there.
With the greats.
Yeah. I mean... The use of the same line over and over again towards the end when he's trying to cast the demon out. Now, unfortunately, I don't know the line by heart.
It was something like,
This is no longer your home. It's time for you to cross over. Peace awaits you there.
Like Bob Dylan writing. It's fucking prolific, man.
Because the worst part about that scene, too, is that it drags on for... like a solid 3 minutes of this man with a candle walking around the house going like, this is no longer your home. Please be at peace.
They established the house as like maybe 8 rooms. Like it's got a good amount of rooms in it.
Yeah, it's
at
fairly
least with
sized.
cameras inside of them.
Yeah.
You think he's gonna go through every camera, every room, and say the exact same line over and over again, looking at his just dopey face. I don't know, like his cute old man face.
That's what I mean when I say master of horror, because. You're right. The tension for that entire scene was that I was expecting to have to suffer through every single camera in the house while he was uttering this stupid fucking line.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Like, the scares weren't even scares.
No.
They're just noises, like, it's very akin to Paranormal Activity where... The earlier ones, it's a lot of just furniture movement, rattling, grumbles in the night. And then it of course escalates. But the escalation here is just fantastic. Because there is none. And then there's an abrupt shift where he just goes up in the attic and he sees this dust pile. And in it is a slow crawl of someone drawing in it. This is not your home. And he just, fuck you, it's my home, boy.
Bitch, I live here now, suck my dick, ghost.
And then the ghost is all pissed off and is like, oh, well, you're gonna have to do better than just some paint and dirt to scare me. Lights go off, rumbling noise. That's all you got. Like, he gets confrontational with this ghost in the best possible way.
It's hard to tell if he's not in on the joke, to be honest. Because it's like he's literally saying, you wanna fight, bitch? Let's fight! After the ghost has like fucking slammed the door to the attic, then he turned off the lights in the attic, and he's like, let's fight, bring it on, I ain't scared of you. And the ghost, everything goes back to normal, the fucking attic opens again, and just basically like the ghost saying, alright, bitch.
You hard.
Alright, come on.
Fucking hard.
Just wait till I get you down in the basement, bitch.
And the best part is what happens after that. He goes back downstairs, and things are moving, and he goes, just go away! And the door opens and then closes.
It's a considerate ghost. I mean, you can't say no to Nigel. Can you say no to him? Look at this face. Can you say no to it?
I'm gonna have to find a fucking picture of his face now.
I don't think that's gonna be hard. There's a lot of selfie shots of him and his fucking Android phone with their shitty quality internet memes.
So I loved the climax of this film. I think that's where it really drew me in, because I think at first I was in it for how quaint it was and how Nigel Bach just captivated my heart.
Yeah. With
just being such a swell man.
Just a real creative, you know, someone who's putting his heart and soul into this.
Yes. But what then pushed it over the top was when the ghost comes back in while he's sleeping and beats his ass. I love it. He's in the bed sleeping, and then oh, please, stop it. And he goes into the bathroom, and he's bloodied, and it's just like some fucking ketchup on his nose. Ooh, it doesn't get much better.
I mean, I think he would make Tommy Wiseau proud.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And he did it definitely with way less money.
None. It's no money.
Honestly, I think Tommy Wiseau should be taking lessons from this guy, because
This is how you make a fucking low-budget movie. You use surveillance cams and your cell phone on a selfie stick.
And your own house.
And your house, and only you.
And I mean...
And maybe your wife or husband. Whoever it may be.
Which pronoun?
Whoever's the fucking tech on this is great, I guess. I mean, it's a lot of chair pulling and all that moved.
I mean...
What else did you really, love? Because I loved when he got his ass kicked. I love when he commanded the ghost to leave, and he just, left through the door. Those moments were, huge for me.
Well...
And then I love, obviously, the ending.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Well, one of the best parts about the ending to me is there's a lot of there's gems that don't make any sense that make the movie just that quaint kind of charming thing. Like, he's breaking into this flimsy plywood door in the basement with an axe. He hits it maybe 2-3 times.
Open. Because he didn't want to really destroy the door.
It's his fucking door. So he's like... Also, him crawling up the stairs at the end.
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments because he does a whole 360 at the top of the stairs.
Yeah,
and his whole body turns like the demon or the ghost is just like, fuck you, guy.
Yeah, just spun him like a top. But it's, I mean, the best part is that you can tell that he does it so that whoever is pulling him down the stairs can have him by the arm, because as he starts turning, his left arm never leaves the door frame anymore.
Yeah, that's his wife holding on.
Yeah, and so he's got to turn all the way around so then he can be pulled very slowly. And then in post, they make it super fast, which is, brilliant. Brilliant!
And also, anyone who's watching this should watch Bad Ben if you have Amazon Video.
If you have Amazon Prime, you have access to this for free. It's amazing. You have to check it out. But
Stop it.
Fuck. But that brings us on to our next film, which I am not going to summarize. In fact, I took over the hosting role of this specifically so that you could summarize Steelmanville Road, the prequel to Bad Ben.
Oh, okay. Steelmanville Road takes place at a house on Steelmanville Road, the same house that we saw in Bad Ben. We meet Matt and Rachel and Silas.
Mm-hmm. Their friend.
Mostly Matt's friend. Rachel has received a house from her mother in her will.
That she's never met, also.
She's never met her mother.
Her biological mother has died and given her this house.
Matt is apprehensive at first, and Silas is just there to be a dick. Matt has Silas install the security cameras that we have grown so accustomed to, and they start living in the house. But things get a little weird.
And Rachel is the one that's really picks up on it. And of course Matt is your typical husband. He's like, yo, you're just crazy, honey.
The things that I am hearing in the house, I'm hearing footsteps, Matt, and the door is slamming upstairs and the light is going on and off, and Matt, I'm hearing voices.
Yeah,
Matt.
I know.
He's working late nights. He doesn't please her anymore. She wants to get pregnant. He's not sure because they don't have money. He's being reasonable.
They have fucking no money.
Yeah.
They make it a point to tell you that they can't even pay for the fucking utilities of this house.
I don't know how they're even still living there. It's like you don't get a chance to be haunted. You're gonna get evicted.
Can you imagine where they were living before? What, a box?
A small box.
The van?
I don't know.
Because they make it such a weird point that they are fucking flat broke.
Yeah.
So they can't even pay for the utilities, because it's an all expense paid house, aside from just lights and water, and trash, your normal just utility bills.
Yeah.
And he's like, I have to fucking work because we can't even afford utilities. And it's that's like $300 a month.
Yeah, and apparently he works late nights all the time, and he works so far away it takes him forever to get home.
Yeah, I mean, this house is supposedly in the middle of nowhere. It's in the
boondocks or something. So they find out that the cause of all these hauntings and spooks is Elijah.
Mom?
Rachel's half-brother.
Yeah, this like new ghost character named Elijah, who, by the way, this is the first movie where we get the special effects of the actual ghost. We don't see any ghosts in Bad Ben. We see some ghosts in Steelmanville Road.
Yeah, you know, it's a mix of practical and computer effects. It's really, you know, he really understands the kind of delicate balance between the two to make horror come to life
on the screen.
Yeah. So we find out that Elijah was the one who killed Rachel's birth mother, but he was being influenced by a more sinister spirit.
Are you talking about the Jersey Devil? Those fucking pineys.
That's their word, right?
Sorry. Check my piney privilege.
Elijah was being manipulated by the Jersey Spirit, an ancient satanic-like demon that was summoned in what seems to be revolutionary America, like the 1770s.
What was it even for?
I don't know.
Why did they summon this thing, or did it just happen?
It was
cursed.
the Leeds family
cursed.
was cursed. Only I don't remember how the demon came about, to be honest. This was a bad movie.
It was like they were cursed to give birth to this, like...
Yeah, they were the only thing the Jersey Devil could mate with was a female from the Leeds family. And the only
as a part of the curse.
And now, all the females have died out except for Rachel and her bloodline, and she's the last living female of the Leeds family.
Yeah, and you know where that takes us. Ghost rape. Which, you know, it was kind of disturbing. To hear.
I think it was done as tastefully as it could be.
As ghost rape can go, I assume. Yeah, all right.
I think that's where that scene in particular, you'll understand what I mean by a true balance between practical effects and computer effects.
I will give the movie some credit there. That was really clever of them to write in that, like, Silas had looked in on the cameras. So then when she was going to get undressed to go to bed, she unplugs that camera and, like, flicks it off beforehand.
Yeah, of course.
It was like a good way of leading into the ghost rape so that you didn't have to show anything too graphic.
Well, Nigel not only thinks about character development, he thinks the story through. There's no plot holes.
None.
There's no plot holes.
You know why? It's because everything is so crassly, overtly explained. That's really why there are no plot holes.
Yeah.
Because everything is literally spelled out for you, in particular by my favorite character, the medium.
Oh, Mona, the medium.
Mona, that's her name.
Mona, the sassy old medium.
Yeah, she's like the stand-in for what's-her-face from, like, Insidious and Annabelle, all of those, like, movies. I don't remember her name, but she's in, like, every horror movie.
Wise old psychic woman, that's her name.
Yep, that's the actress's name.
Except for this one was not that wise either. Look, I want to talk about what I actually felt about this movie. While Bad Ben had a charming, quaint, heartwarming, genuine quality to it, Nigel went a little... He took a risk, and I applaud him for that, and he hired actors.
I assume in my head that the woman playing Rachel is just his daughter, and that's her... and that is her actual husband.
Yeah, they are married, so we know that that's a real failing marriage.
I think, like I said, my best guess is that, like, that's his daughter, and that's her husband, and they were just like, hey, you want to be in this movie? And then, like, Silas is, like, his nephew.
I imagine he paid them something.
Sure, probably.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
He gave him, like, a good home-cooked meal. I don't know. And Mona's just, like, his mom.
I imagine that's
Nigel's
his wife.
mom.
Well,
you think it's his wife? Oh,
yeah, I think she's too young. She's old, but she's not old enough to be his
He's
mom.
not that old, though.
I don't think she's his mom. I don't know, but here's the thing. Nigel had this genuine, improvised feel to him that just lent a nice little comedic effect, charm to the movie, while his son-in-law, if that's who it is, we don't know, or these actors...
In general, yeah.
They just one, it's still Nigel's writing.
I think that's the thing. Like, I think you can tell that the charm in the first one is that a lot of it is made up.
No one can sell Nigel as well as Nigel.
And so when Nigel is like writing, when he tries to write in general, it just comes along as very forced. Mm-hmm. And everything is, as I said before, overtly explained to the point where they're just kind of like hitting you in the head with it. And that's just not good writing. So then when you also pair that with non-actors, you don't get any quality performances out of it. But I think, unlike you, that to me made it better. Because I think that made the movie more fun to see all of these people who are not actors completely fuck up this movie. And it's like Nigel wanted to take it, he wanted to like take it up a notch. He wanted to go for broke.
Yeah, he took a risk. I mean,
yeah, he tied up all of his life savings in the second movie, with the visual effects and the color and the sound design. And
I mean, the Jersey Devil outfit alone was probably half of the budget for the movie.
You think?
Do you remember what that thing looked like? That was definitely a full body gorilla suit, like with all the hair taken off or something.
Did I miss this part? When was it?
During the ghost rape.
Oh, like the thing that walks in? I thought it was just like a dude in a hoodie. I honestly just thought it was the silhouette of a man.
Here's the thing. Bad Ben also shares this quality because it's the same cameras. The quality shifts during the movie. Some cameras have better views than others.
Absolutely. They're not all like uniform cameras.
I legitimately believe there was a man in a rubber suit who walked in who was then the raping demon.
The Jersey Devil.
The raping rubber demon.
But that's the thing. I think this movie was actually really fun because the effects and the bad acting, but still this like care. Like you could everyone still thinks they're making a movie. I guess. I don't know. I think somehow it just bordered into that cringe level versus comedic like schlock or shtick that's just like, he doesn't know how funny he is. This is like, oh, you guys aren't realizing how painful this is. I guess. I don't know. I never felt like I was suffering in this movie. At least not like you did. For me, I had a lot of fun just seeing like Elijah pop up on screen randomly. I loved when he jumps down from the attic and crawls away. There are still Nigel Bach. This is a Nigel Bach movie. There are Nigel Bach gems. Like yeah, it still has a lot of like when Rachel just this picture I just drew. Just so the audience can see it's the same one from the first one. I'm going to walk over to the camera and show it to you. I have no reason to do this. I don't know why the ghosts want me to, but... Have you seen it enough? I'm holding it right in front of the camera. This is a full 40-second clip. It's a lot. That's a gem, and it's got the, ridiculous... Elijah... What were we saying? It has the ridiculous night vision, which is just some weird color swap. I don't know if he puts like a color filter on the lens, or not on the lens, but like in post, or if he's using like green lights. I can't tell, because there's sometimes where it seems like the lights are still on, and he just put like a filter on. The lights are no. The lights are definitely on in the shot of his dark rooms. That's the funniest part. Is you can tell there are shadows in the night vision. In the first, yeah, that's the best part. The one outside was the one that killed me because it's just a little box of green on the ground. Everything else is fucking dark as shit. But in the first movie, he in the sailor's room, as I kept calling it, because it has a fucking ship wheel. In one shot, there's nothing next to the ship wheel, and then for the rest of the movie, there's a light. There's a fucking light just there, turned around. It's just like a can light. Continuity. And he just forgot it was there for the rest of the film. Who needs it? I just think it's one of those things where you have someone who is married to their work. He's married to his project. Yeah. And I felt like this too. I mean, when I directed my one act back in the day, I was very married to the project. It was hard for me to like cut things out. It was hard for me to relinquish any form of control. So I understand what the feeling is, but I also understand that this is what happens when you give no one else control.
Oh, yeah.
Or when you have no one else to, like, show your work to.
Yeah, to talk to and give you some critiques.
I mean, we could send him this video.
Well, I mean, we're definitely going to tweet at him, but...
Yo, Nigel. Fucking, you're amazing, man.
Yeah,
So I think this is a great example of that, where you have a man who is married to his project to the point of no return, where he is just, everything is going to be exactly how he envisions it, and what he envisions is just not that good. But that's what adds that charm to it. And I think you see that in both movies. I understand that you didn't like the second one as much, but for me, going for broke there was the only thing you could have done. Because if you're going to do a prequel to this charming, quaint, Nigel Bach only production, this is how you do it. You make it dumb as shit. Like, you make it just hilarious with these terrible effects and these dumb, like, overlapping, join us, ghost voices.
I like the effects. I like those memes. He's got them down. It's classic. It's just the fact that Matt and Rachel and Mona, they are trying, but they're trying so hard that it's like, it makes me sad. It's like, you're trying, and that's rude. Look, I get it, Nigel. This is his house. We're just using what we got, and you're just doing the same, but...
Your house is nicer than mine.
Yeah, way nicer, but here's the thing. You made a funny, terrible movie. In that order. Bad Ben, great. You were amazing. You're a tour de force for you, really.
Yeah, no, if I was running the Academy, you would be on my list. Absolutely.
And then we have Steelmanville Road. Steelmanville Road. We have Steelmanville Road. With just two actors that just are trying and not succeeding.
But every actor in that except for maybe Silas was just god-awful. Silas just didn't do much, so he didn't have to, like, act.
I don't know, he still kind of made my skin feel tingly, but
I mean, that is one of the things, like, we come from an acting background, so, like, bad performances are the first thing that we notice.
Yeah, we do
like,
key in on those.
It's like, I like to look at cinematography, and I like to look at, like, how sound envelops a film, but at the end of the day, I am very theatrical, and you are the same, and so the first thing you notice when you watch a movie is just... that guy is not a good actor.
Yeah.
And I mean, I agree, they're bad actors, but I think it was more in service of the movie being just a schlocky piece of shit.
Yeah.
In the same way The Room is. Like, The Room is definitely cringy as shit in terms of acting. But that's the whole point, is, like, people love it because it's so unaware that it's terrible. For me, and this movie felt like that. It felt like it was terribly unaware of just how bad it was.
I feel like you have to get past a point, though. And Tommy Wiseau and Nigel get there, but I just don't feel that Matt and Rachel did. But I will say, I love all the kid. I love his little ghost, his ghost appearances. The use of shadows, I will say, he could have told the whole story through shadows.
He really could. It could have been a shadow puppet show. Hey, Nigel, I'll write your script for you. I'll hire me up. I'll come to Jersey, and I'll write your script, and we'll do a shadow puppet show for the 4th installment. It'll be called Bad Ben 4 Shadow Realm. Just like the Paranormal Activity, the Dark Dimension, or whatever. It'll just all be shadow puppets and shadows of people. That'll be the whole movie. Alright, so this is the point of the show where we're going to determine if our films are schlock or shit. So, Gordon, Bad Ben, schlock or shit?
Definitely schlock. Give the movie a watch. You'll totally understand it. You can feel it. I think you should watch the movie if I'm honestly recommending movies. This is one to watch you're not wasting your time. You'll get a good laugh and you'll be like, you know what? Everyone deserves a shot. It'll give you hope. That's what I have to say about Bad Ben.
I will agree. It is definitely going to hit the chart as schlock, which I'm very happy to say because, as I said, it was a nice, pleasant surprise to watch this movie. Started out a little slow, and then it just gradually, smooth like butter. I just got to watch this film and relax and have a few chuckles, and the ending the end sequences really just make the movie fun, schlocky bullshit.
Yeah.
Now, I think I know what you're going to say, but Steelmanville Road, schlock or shit?
I think it's shit. I don't think you should watch it. I think that, especially if you're someone who wants to be creative in a film aspect, this will make you lose hope. Because you'll see that everyone can fail.
Even the great Nigel Bach.
Even Bach Studios.
I'll have to disagree with you. For me, this movie was schlock. I think that, like I said before, I think it does exactly what it needs to do in a sequel/prequel. It has to go for broke, and I actually liked it more for it. I liked that the performances were fucking awful. Mona had me in tears. I was laughing so much. It's not schlock in the same way. I think that's what's different about it. It's not schlock in the same way that Bad Ben is. You're gonna watch Bad Ben, you're gonna have some chuckles, and you're gonna feel like your heart is warmed. Because it's such a quaint little job by one guy. The second one is like traditional schlock, where everything is fucking dumb as shit. It's like the dumbest thing you could have thought a movie could do to you, with just terrible effects, cheesy sounds, the like dumbest plot, and the worst acting. It all culminates into this really like just big schlock fest. And so I had to give it schlock.
Meh.
So it's 2 schlocks for me and a 1 and 1 for him. That's how the show works. So we're gonna watch more films, including, which I'm very excited for, Badder Ben. The trilogy finale!
The finale to end all finales.
And we'll leave you with a little spoiler. Tom Riley survived.
Dun, dun, dun.
Fuck. So stupid. So, that's our first episode of Schlock or Shit. We hope you enjoyed it. And our next film will most likely be The Black Room, so be waiting out for that. Can't wait to show Gordon this movie. Well, love you guys. Have a great night watching Bad Ben.